Paul George to the Lakers, is it a lock? Just might be. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NBA, of course, talking Paul George and all of these off-season trade rumors, because now that the All-NBA teams have been announced and we have found out that Paul George did not make an All-NBA team. Yes, that's right. He did not even make the All-NBA third team. So that puts a huge wrench in Indy's plans of being able to retain Paul George, because this means that he is not eligible for the super max contract, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $215 million, which is the most that the team that you're playing for can offer you. If you sign with another team, you can't. So that card is gone from Indiana's favor now that Paul George did not make an All-NBA team, which means Paul George has even more incentive now to leave Indy and go elsewhere. So the destination of choice that Paul George has been linked to has, of course, been the Lakers. He's from LA. He's from California, excuse me. And he's been wanting to go to LA. How do I know? Adrian Wojnarowski and all these other media outlets have been reporting that he has, in fact, even told his teammates that his intentions are to play for the Lakers. And, you know, Indiana was very close to flipping him at the deadline. They were even offered 4 first-round picks by the Atlanta Hawks, but they rejected that for Paul George because maybe they felt like, you know, they were going to keep him or whatnot. So I'm here to discuss, okay, what has to happen or what is going to happen for Paul George to go to the Lakers, and is it a sure thing? You know, you never want to say never, because in life anything can happen, but Paul George to the Lakers just feels like it is going to end up happening somehow. And the reason I say this is because, like I said, a couple of factors here with family and him being from California. There's something to be said about playing for your hometown team, and especially when they're not doing that well, which even though the Lakers have a rich history right now, they've been horrible for the past 3 years. So Paul George would be sort of bringing them back to prominence, which is something that he would look forward to. Now, a lot of people would say the Lakers are nowhere close to winning a championship. They can't compete with Golden State. They can't sniff Golden State or the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is true. But here's the thing, and this is where being a fan of your hometown team, you just want to somehow, you know, try and bring them back to relevance, even if that means that you don't win a championship. So to me, honestly, looking at it, Paul George is different than Kevin Durant in the sense that I don't believe Paul George feels like he has all the pressure in the world to win a championship. Would he like to win one? Of course. Who wouldn't? But Paul George is not the type of guy, I believe, who is going to go ring chasing, because I feel like for him, it would be enough to bring his hometown team to relevance, which is why I'm going to say that with the Celtics being the other team that could trade for him and who are in a much better position to compete for an NBA championship, I am still having trouble thinking if he will commit to the Celtics long term. So Paul George is not going to be a free agent this year. He's got 1 more year left. So that means that any team that trades for Paul George right now would have to deal with the fact that he cannot commit to you until after the season, and that means he can walk out. Okay, I know you can give verbal agreements, but there's been situations like that before where players have said verbal agreements and they have gone back on their words. Basically, you're playing with fire here if you trade for Paul George, and if any team besides the Lakers trade for Paul George, they are playing with fire, and that is the Celtics included. So here is what I would say. If I am the Lakers, I would totally wait it out till 2018 when Paul George is a free agent. You're going to draft either Alonzo Ball this year or Markelle Fultz. It's going to be Alonzo Ball, most probably. They need... they've been looking at him the whole time, and he wants to play for the Lakers and the Lakers only. So now you have Lonzo Ball, you've got D'Angelo Russell, you got Brandon Ingram, you got Julius Randle. So you've got that core there. And if you were to trade for Paul George, of course, one of those core pieces is going to get traded away. Now, let's say you might be like, okay, Brandon Ingram plays the same position as Paul George, so let's move Brandon Ingram and a draft pick for Paul George. But then you look at, okay, Brandon Ingram could be a star, but I did not see enough in his rookie season to be like, okay, Brandon Ingram is going to be, you know, a megastar. So I am saying, who gives a rip if Brandon Ingram plays the same position as Paul George? If he is a great player, then he should be able to adjust. And so if I'm the Lakers, I would not move Brandon Ingram for the sole purpose of moving him. If I feel like he's got the most potential, then of course I want to keep him, maybe trade a Russell or Randall. But for me, it's not like anyone is untouchable on the Lakers. Now, of course, if Lonzo comes, you at least want to give him a year or two before you look to move him. So he probably would be the only guy on the team that they wouldn't look to trade. But everyone else, you've got some sort of a sample size. So why trade assets for a guy who wants to play for your team? He's going to come here in 2018. Indy might ask for the house. Now, here's the other wrench. The only way I'm trading for Paul George if I'm the Lakers is if a team that I believe that would be a serious contender, which I have a couple here, the Clippers, they're also from LA. They're also, you know, it is Paul George's home state, and they've got a much, much better team, and they could offer someone like a Blake Griffin for Paul George to Indy. They would be much more inclined to do that. Or, you know, like I said, it could be another dark horse team, who knows, that might make a strong play for Paul George. And if push comes to shove, then I would look to move somebody if I'm the Lakers. But if everything plays out as it will, I think Paul George is going to be a Laker in 2018. I do think Indiana will move him at the deadline next year. If they can't get him to agree to a deal this season, in the offseason, I think they'll look to move him. And at that point, it's basically up to the team that's trading for Paul George if they want to be stupid enough to trade for George when he hasn't fully committed to them, or if they want to take a chance on him. With that being said, I don't think any team should give up the house for Paul George because it looks like he has his sights set on LA. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Paul George to the Lakers is a guarantee? I don't think it's a guarantee, but it's whatever's closest to a guarantee. That's what it is with Paul George. But leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.